Hello, my name is Alfred Tamazian, and I'm a director at Daily Dreams Adult Day Healthcare Center, where we do provide nursing services, social work services, occupational therapy, physical therapy, and psych services for those who are in need. And unfortunately, right now the budget is sort of uh, on a basis where we might be cut, but yet I kind of wanted to, within this interview, uh, kind of convey the message of exactly why these centers were made and exactly what will happen if they do sort of disappear due to the unfortunate budget cuts. Um, I have been within the daycare realm for the past 15 years, and I've seen a lot of changes, and this has happened maybe once or twice in my career already, and we've been able to overcome with the voices that we've been able to raise when it comes to budget cuts for the seniors. And even though there's a lot more pressing issues at this time within the world with what's happening within the last few days, but at the same time, the most important thing in life, as far as I'm concerned, is the most precious things are kids and obviously the elderly, who both populations don't have the ways and the means to sort of support themselves, whether it's physically, whether it's emotionally, whether it's being with their peers and speaking with the elderly, um, and sort of conversing with their own peers is it's essential in a sense. And without the services provided to them, it's going to be a very, very sad situation in a sense where, from what I'm hearing and from what I'm reading, where the nursing homes are probably right now the highest percentage of death allowed within the not allowed death that's come about uh, in these times of the COVID-19 and the virus that sort of struck the world all at once, pretty much. It's the higher percentage of death is coming from nursing homes, and again, from what I'm hearing, as far as Governor Newsom is, he wants to be able to give more funding to nursing homes and find other ways to keep the elderly at home and give them services at home. Well, that that doesn't ring true, and it doesn't ring right, because what's happening now, because we are giving telehealth services over the phone to these people within our communities, and it's not enough. And if that's the proposal that's supposed to change the system to keep the elderly at home, to give them services at home, well, we've already lost one or two people within the last 3 months, not from COVID-19, solely due to the fact that these people weren't doing their routine exercise and their routine meals and their routine playing games and being active. And the most active ones that we've had in the center are absolutely distraught at this point, physically and emotionally. And how do I know this? Is because we do, again, make the telephone calls and do the telehealth, and we also pass out meals. And thank goodness to our owners of our center, Daily Dreams, what they did was, without any stoppage of services, they started passing out the food because they knew it was how necessary it would be. And it's just really unfortunate if something like this would happen, that we would still keep them at home, and just to give them food. It doesn't jive, because you're sort of giving counseling over the phone, and there's no personal attachment to that counseling. There's no face-to-face interaction with that counseling that goes on. And the majority of the participants that we have at our center are 5-dayer participants, who most of them have a diagnosis of depression or diagnosis of anxiety. And those of us within the field know those with anxiety need to get up and move about, because their symptoms are so. And we're keeping them at home. And these are the people that need to be able to come out and get out of that mind or thought process where their anxiety can sort of get worse within a 1 minute, within 1 hour, within 1 day, it just could get exponentially worse. And and the elderly could just really just downward spiral towards an earlier death than if they were to be at a adult day healthcare center. Again, I plead to everybody and anybody at the Senate floor, or whoever is going to be listening to this meetings. I urge you, we need to be able to not keep them in the home. That's not going to do it. All we're going to do is just kill as many elderly as possible. And the word "kill" is such a dirty word, but leaving them at home is essentially giving them a death sentence. And I just don't see that as ethically correct. I don't see that as in any way correct. So again, I plead you to find the budget for the CBAS services to continue with the CBAS services being open as soon as possible as well.
What needs to be done on behalf of the community, on behalf of the families, to make sure that the elected officials who are going to have those proposals on their tables, to make sure that they understand the seriousness of this, and to make sure that they actually make a decision to keep those programs alive?
Well, again, given what's happening right now, even with the last 3 days, it's very difficult to urge people to come out of their homes and come out and try to do some kind of protest, because right now a protest really looks negative. But that is not to say that our fight is any less than what's happening with the world. Again, the most precious ones are the elderly and the children, and we need to be able to take care of them, open up the schools and open up these CBAS centers so they can thrive as much as possible. What can we do as a community? Well, we can call our senators. We can call our LA County senators. We can call them in Sacramento, and we can call them here wherever you live in, whether you live in Glendale, Burbank, Pasadena, Arcadia, whatever it is within the area. You can call them. You can go online and search for your senator. It's very, very quickly, and you can call them. But what's happening right now on Tuesday, some of the adult day healthcare centers, very, very few of them, but at least those who are sort of close within the vicinity, are going to go in front of Colorado Boulevard in Glendale between Adams and Everett. And we are going to stand with masks on. We are not going to walk. We're going to be very silent, pretty much, with holding up our posters to show solidarity within our community and within our hearts, to show that the elderly need to be able to come out of the house. And we need to be able to show that it's okay that now that COVID-19 is sort of going back down and numbers, some of the children of the elderly who are older themselves, they need to go to their jobs, and they are being called back already. So if they're going to be going away and needing that respite or needing those services for ADHDs to take care of their parents, well, they're going to be home alone. And the risk of fire and you know, all the negatives that go with leaving elderly at home is only going to be worsened. And sending to nursing homes is, again, a death sentence, because I've never been to a nursing home where the people actually are delighted to be in a nursing home. But I've seen a million others, thousands of others within the last 15 years I've been in this business, that are very much ready to come to the ADHC in order to stay, as healthy as possible. So the community get together on Monday or Tuesday morning on Colorado, Everett and Adams, in front of, I think, Daylight in Glendale. And again, we're going to wear a mask and not walk, just to show solidarity. We're going to do it in the most safest way possible. And that's pretty much some of the things that they can do. We can all come together as a people and urge the Senate and everybody else to try to not overlook the CBAS centers. We need our funding.